Hello, we have a lesson on connected speech, and this is a very important lesson, especially if you're trying to move your English to the next level, because you will learn how to sound more natural speaking English, and also you'll learn how to better understand native speakers, because there are ways in which we combine our speech together when we speak, and it's quite important to learn how to do this. So let's begin. Connected speech. First, I'll read some sentences and then you pay attention to the way I read them. By the time I'm old, I will have visited many countries. By the time I'm old, I will have visited many countries. Last night I wanted to go out. Last night I wanted to go out. Do you want this or that? Do you want this or that? Is it busy? Is it busy? Come in, please. Come in, please. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. I want to do it. I want to do it. Now, you probably noticed that there are some interesting things to pick out from the way I read. For example, I say, by the time I'm old. I don't say, by the time I'm old. I read them quite together. And this is connected speech. How we naturally read words together when we speak or read. And there are 5 major principles on how to do this. And we're going to look at them one by one. So let's begin. The first is catenation. Now, you don't have to worry about the terms, the theories, not really, because I will explain each principle, and all you have to focus on is the practice aspect of the lesson. The theory is not very important. So what is catenation? Catenation is when the end of one word blends into another. And this is the rule. When the last sound of a word is a consonant and the first sound of the next word is a vowel, you get linking. You have a word, it ends in a consonant sound. And then you have the next word beginning with a vowel sound. When you put them together, you get a natural linking. Let's see an example. Here we have a sentence. Do you want this or that? But then if you look at this part, we have this and or. So this ends in a consonant sound s, and then o begins in a vowel sound o. So catenation tells us that we combine them. So I say, listen, do you want this or that? This or, this or, this or, together. Do you want this or that? This or that, this or that, this or that. So we have a kind of bridge, and it sounds like one word, this or, this or. Do you want this or that? And I want to believe you are practicing your pronunciation with me. All right. More examples. Come in, please. So we have come in, please, but then come and in can be put together. Come in, come in. That is catenation. We have a consonant and a vowel. We have a link. Come in, please. Not come in, please. It's not very natural. Come in, please. All right. And here we have another example. We have the teacher is here. but at the end of teacher, we have an R. And if we combine this R with the next word is, we get teacher is. Teacher is. The teacher is here. The teacher is here. Teacher is. That is catenation. And we have a perfect example here. So look at this phrase. The last sound of a word is a consonant. The last sound of a word is a consonant. So we have last sound of the word is a consonant. So I read this together like one long word. Sound of the word is a consonant. Sound of the word is a consonant. So we have a prime example of catenation. The last sound of the word is a consonant. Last sound of the word is a consonant. So we combine them together to form a long bridge of words. That is catenation. So I hope you're practicing together with me. Last sound of the word is a consonant. So let's repeat all the sentences. The first, do you want this or that? Do you want this or that? The next, come in please. Come in please. And the next, the teacher is here. The teacher is here. And the next one, the last sound of the word is a consonant. The last sound of the word is a consonant. So these are examples of catenation. Let's continue. The second is intrusion. What is intrusion? This is when an additional sound intrudes or inserts itself between others. It is often a y or w sound between two other vowel sounds. How do we understand this? So here I have a sentence. Last night I wanted to go out. But then if I read quickly, I would say, last night I wanted to go out. I wanted to go out. Go out. So I don't say go out. So because I have two vowel sounds, o, ow, and I kind of insert w, go out, go out. So there is a w sound here, intruding between o and ow. That is intrusion. Go out, go out, go out, go out. So I hope you're practicing. I wanted to go out, go out. More examples. Just do it. But then together, just do it. Do it. Do it. Not do it. You see, it's not very natural. Do it. Just do it. Do it. Do it. Wait. Do it. That is intrusion. One more example. We have he and asked. He asked. But then if I read, I say he asked. He asked. So there is a yeah sound from nowhere, right? He asked. That's why it's called intrusion, because the yeah sound comes from somewhere else to help us connect these two sounds. He asked. He asked. He asked. More example. She answered. So we have she and answered. Then together we have she answered. He asked. She answered. He asked. She answered. So we have yeah sound. So I hope you practice this. He asked, she answered. He asked, she answered. So let's repeat all the sentences. Last night I wanted to go out. Last night I wanted to go out. Just do it. Just do it. He asked. She answered. All right, let's continue. The next is elision. Elision. Elision is when a sound disappears. It happens when a sound is eaten by a stronger sound or a similar sound next to it. Do you notice I say next to it? I didn't say next to it. I say next to it. So that is intrusion. Well, next to it. It's an interesting point to note. And it often happens with a te or de sound. So usually the de sound eats the te sound. And then also le sound often eats the ha sound. Now you'll see some examples and then you'll understand better. Here we have a sentence. By the time I'm old, I will have visited. So I don't say I will have. Why? Because L eat ha. So we're left with will have. I will have visited. I will have visited many countries. So let's practice. By the time I'm old, I will have visited many countries. I will have visited many countries. I hope you guys are getting it. Will have, will have. So L eats her. More examples. Last night I wanted to go out. So we have last night I wanted to go out, right? But then when we read together, we say last night. So the te at the end of last disappears, poof. And then we're left with last night, last night, last night. And then let's continue. So we have I wanted to, but then I say I wanted to. So the de at the end of wanted disappears, and then we're left with wanted to. I wanted to. Last night I wanted to go out. So let's repeat. Last night I wanted to go out. Last night I wanted to go out. Last night I wanted to go out. That is elision at work. More examples. Here we have tell and him. But then we know that the l sound can eat the h sound. That's why here we just have tell him, tell him, tell him, tell him, tell him. Not tell him. It's not very easy. I think you would agree. It's not very easy to pronounce, but then tell him is quite easy to do, right? Tell him, tell him, tell him. That is elision. More example. Here we have is he busy? But then when we read quickly, we say, is it busy? Is it busy? Is it busy? So we drop the h sound because it's usually quite weak. So it is usually eaten by other sounds. It's a very weak sound. Huh. So here we have, is it busy? Is it busy? Now, let's repeat all the sentences. The first, by the time I'm old, I will have visited many countries. I will have visited many countries. And the next, last night, I wanted to go out. Last night, I wanted to go out. And the next, tell him. Tell him. And the last, is it busy? Is it busy? All right. Next. Oh, we've got one more example here, and that is next and door. Next and door, but then together we say next door. Next door. So the t at the end of next is eaten by d sound, and we just have next door, next door, next door. That's one more example of elision. Let's continue. Next is assimilation. Assimilation. What is assimilation? This is when two sounds blend together and they form a new sound completely. So two sounds, we have a sound, we have another sound, they come together, blend together, forming a new sound completely. And we say that it often happens with te and ya sounds. So together, te and ya, they make a ch sound. Te, ya, ch. And also, de and ya together make j sound. Let's see examples. Here we have a sentence, I want your food. So we have want, your. So we have a te sound and a ya sound. But then when we read together quickly, we say, I want your food. I want your food. So we have a ch. Want your food. I want your food. Not I want your food. No, I want your food. I want your food. Repeat. I want your food. I want your food. All right. Next example. What would you do? So we have would and you, d and y, and together we have what would you do? What would you do? So d and y, they create j. What would you do? What would you do? Repeat. What would you do? And then if you notice, you see that the te at the end of what is removed. There is elision there. So I don't really say, what would you do? I say, what would you do? So I connect what and would together, removing the T, and then I say, what would you? What would you do? All right, what would you do? More example. Here we have nice to meet and you. So we have a te and ya. So we just say nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. So we have a ch sound. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. I hope you're repeating. Nice to meet you. All right, and the last. Did you know? Did you know? So we have a de and ya sound. And what do we have? Together, did you know? Did you know? Did you know? That is assimilation. Now let's repeat all the sentences. I want your food. I want your food. I want your food. What would you do? What would you do? What would you do? Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. Did you know? Did you know? Did you know? Let's continue. The next is germinate. Germinate. This is the fifth principle of connected speech. Germinate. And these are two twin sounds. So when we have a sound and another sound, and they are the same, one after another, we pronounce only one of them. Examples. Here we have I want to visit Singapore. Then we have want to. So we don't say I want to. Nope. We just say I want to. I want to. So we pronounce just one t. I want to. I want to visit. I want to visit Singapore. I want to. I want to visit. Alright? Not I want to. Nope. That's not correct. That's not natural. I want to. The next. Here we have I will leave. I will leave. So here we have lots of l sound, and we just say I will leave. I will leave. So we pronounce just one. I will leave, will leave, will leave. I will leave. Just one l. Not I will leave. Nope, I will leave. The next. Here we have the same, social and life. But then together we have social life. Social life. And dear friends, these are the 5 principles of connected speech. Now, we're going to put them into practice. So I will reread the sentences I read at the beginning of the lesson again, and then you'll repeat after me. So let's go. The first. By the time I'm old, I will have visited many countries. By the time I'm old, I will have visited many countries. Now let's take it more slowly. By the time I'm old, I will have visited many countries. By the time I'm old, I will have visited many countries. So now let's go faster, more natural. By the time I'm old, I will have visited many countries. By the time I'm old, I will have visited many countries. Alright, the next. Last night, I wanted to go out. Last night, I wanted to go out. So let's take it more slowly. Last night, I wanted to go out. Last night, I wanted to go out. Now, faster. Last night, I wanted to go out. Maybe that was too fast, right? Okay, let's go more slowly. Last night, I wanted to go out. I wanted to go out. Last night, I wanted to go out. The next. Do you want this or that? Do you want this or that? Now, if you notice, you see that between want and this, we have an assimilation. So we have 2 similar sounds, and then we put them together. I say want this, not want this. That's one more example of assimilation. Do you want this or that? Do you want this or that? Do you want this or that? Alright? The next. Is it busy? Is it busy? The next. Come in, please. Come in, please. Not come in, please. Nope. Come in, please. And the next. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. The next. I want to do it. I want to do it. I want to do it. Do you want to do it? Of course I want to do it. Alright. And dear friends, these are the ways in which we combine and connect our speech naturally when we speak. I mean, of course, I know it's possible, it's quite difficult for you to do now, but I do hope you will practice more and more, and then you'll learn to sound more natural when you speak, and then you'll also learn to understand different people when they speak quickly. Thank you for your attention, and I will see you in the next lesson. Bye-bye.